These are the top crypto stories of the day, everybody. We have Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs. We have the TikTok ban just finished about 90 seconds ago, the vote on that. We have the results for that as well. We have analysts out here saying Ethereum is going to pass Bitcoin, but how's that possible when Bitcoin set another record for ETFs just yesterday? It's time to discover crypto. Ow!
Capital flight is coming to the United States. The dollar is going to zero.
And that's what makes Bitcoin so special.
You have to have gone through a couple cycles to understand.
Once the price is able to clear this level, the breakout is on its way.
This is your indication to jump in now.
Thank you for joining, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and smash those likes. And if you're watching on X, go ahead and hit that retweet. Let's share this video because we got a lot of news we're going to cover today, folks. And it's going to shock you and maybe even appall you when we say ETH can possibly pass Bitcoin. Some analysts are going out there with that assessment. Huge Ethereum upgrade is live right now. The Denkun upgrade is live. It's going to make cheaper gas fees for L2. So that's going to be pretty momentous for Ethereum as well. What are the charts doing? What are the charts saying, everybody? Let's just get right into it. And then we'll talk about the TikTok ban right after we look at these prices. Now, I'm going to hit refresh. Just make sure we have the best data available. Bitcoin is up 0.8%. It is now $72,000, almost $72,420. But everybody, it hit above 73K. It was holding above 73K for a little bit of a period here. Josh, what were your thoughts? 73K. Bitcoin all-time highs. Should we just get used to it at this point?
We should. And I think everybody should get used to the flash crashes that we continuously start seeing, where we drop, by $4,000 or $5,000 on Bitcoin's price and see shorts or longs continuously wiped out. So, seeing the 72,500, it was really bullish. And we'll get to the charts in this episode today, but seeing us come down to $69,000 and just bounce right off of it, see those liquidations sucked up, all those buy orders go through, man, markets are more bullish than ever. And seeing us break out past $73,000 this morning was wild. I mean, just to think about this, right? Like a year ago, could you have imagined that we were at 73K and we were worried about, Bitcoin dropping to 67,000?
I could not imagine, and here we are. But yeah, some people are saying my portfolio is all red. Well, folks, we're going to take a victory lap on an altcoin. We told you about 4 days ago. I gave you step-by-step guides on how to buy this altcoin. That thing has moved 40% today. Let me know in the chat if you can guess what altcoin I'm talking about. I just gave you a big hint. Told you about it 4 days ago, maybe 5. And so, yeah, we're got some really
victory laps today.
Really good green candles there. Ethereum is not quite having the victory lap. It looked like it stumbled passing that baton. It has fallen 0.7%, but BNB is picking up all the slack. 10% pump for BNB, now $585. If we look, it topped out around, I want to say it was around 6 something right there. Really close to $700. And now if you look at BNB, it's flirting with some of these previous all-time highs, recovering a lot more strongly than a lot of altcoins, including Solana, including Cardano. BNB is a lot closer to its all-time high, similar to Bitcoin, where it is past it. XRP has a little bit of a pullback. It is now down 2.9%, but was the best gainer in the top 100 just a couple days ago. So still good vibes there. Cardano, flat as it can be. And I got some charts for you on Cardano that I got from a Crypto Capital Venture, Dan. Shout out to Dan. What he showed me, what I saw highlighted by Dan shocked me, and I want to show you as well. So we're going to look at that in a little bit. We keep scrolling down. Doge is down, but look at that. Avalanche has flipped Shiba Inu. If you recall, Doge was followed by Shiba Inu, and now Avalanche is just slightly higher via market cap after the 5% pump. Toncoin still pumping a ton, 21%. And Polygon is pumping up as well. Is everyone buying Kulo? I don't know what's going on with that one. But let's go ahead and look at the biggest gainers. Ton, With, Quant, Thorchain, and Aave. ApeCoin. ApeCoin's doing as well. Nick, anything highlighting or standing out to you? What are your thoughts on BNB? Is BNB no longer dead?
Yeah, I think BNB is going to be around for a while. I think it's just a good chain. Yeah, it had its problems back when the pancake swap days, but yeah, everyone's used to. They're like, wow, Solana has cheap meme coin. That's so new and amazing. Well, no, that's been that way on BNB.
Yeah, no, you
forever.
can do a transaction for a nickel or less or a penny. Like, no, we've been doing that on BSC for years now. Let's look at the biggest losers, everybody. There's really not. Oh my God, it's like my coins.
Well, I do want to touch on the
Again.
top 24 movers, guys. Quant and Matic starting to see pretty massive gains. Quant up 13% in the last 24 hours.
14
They
now,
haven't
if you
broken out. We
refresh.
keep talking about Polygon, Matic, and Quant are two of the largest cap cryptos that have not moved this cycle yet and are behind. And we're going to probably see those explosive growths right around the corner. So shout out to everybody that's in those. I have a massive bag of Matic, so I'm enjoying my portfolio a little bit today, but I do believe there's going to be a day where $2 Matic just is highly undervalued at that point, just like we saw Cardano at 50 cents.
Yeah, no, the Arbitrum unlock is happening soon, and we talked about it on ATB last night. If you want to learn more about that, gigantic unlock, and if I had to guess, 2 days, 12 hours, I want to say it's roughly around that. Also had a great day. Polygon. We will look at Kulo and maybe some meme coins in a little bit. Mina Protocol is down. Beam is down. Probably not going to do good for the Beam meme coins as well. But let's go ahead and look, folks. I know it's not the strongest project, but we're going to go ahead and look at this. Kulo is up. It is up slightly. So you're up 3.5%. But I told you about a video, everybody. If we go here, did anyone guess it? No, it wasn't Arrow.
They have Orange, which is pumping as well today. That's going to be another victory lap for our channel. We've talked about it's a Bitcoin DeFi play. It's up 50% today.
No, this coin is up 40% when I just checked about 40 minutes ago. And it was right here 4 days ago. Founder says Ethereum will be replaced by this altcoin. We have it on mute, and I highlighted, where is it right here? Akala. You can see me. I've talked about the bridge, how to get your funds, step-by-step guide. Let's just see, how is Akala doing right now? If you jumped in with
oh my God,
DZ lied. He said 40%. It's actually 38.8. I know. How dare I? You can see a little bit of a pullback just happen briefly. But let's just click the 7-day. Are you buying after the pump? No, DZ told you after the pump. No, everybody. If you look, wow, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, you got in around 13 cents. So we are doing pretty good right now.
It has
congrats.
been, I can't even name a project we talked about that hasn't moved at this point. But guys, let us know in the chat what altcoins you guys want us to look into. We're going to be diving into a lot of research today. So we're going to go through our news articles. We have an amazing special guest joining us in just a few moments. But at the end of this, me and Deez are going to be doing a new part of the series where we just take altcoins you guys are looking at in the chat and doing live research together. So I'm super stoked for that. Smash that like button to stick around. Share with a friend because you got two experts about to dive in.
But before we dive in, there's a showdown. A showdown about to happen.
Who?
Between the two biggest crypto coins. What do we have there? That's Litecoin and Hex. No, wait a minute. That's not right. That's not right.
Oh, sorry. You didn't mean the bottom of the trash can. You meant, I think it's Bitcoin and ETH. Is that the two?
It is Bitcoin and ETH. There's an analyst out here saying Ethereum is set to eclipse Bitcoin, the internet of money, deflationary, Denkun upgrade. There's a lot of narratives happening right now. Potential next ETF. If I was going to go ahead and say, though, I don't see Ethereum flipping Bitcoin.
Look, I don't either. I 100% agree with you. But what this does show us is that generally the flippening, this is what this is called. If you guys are new to crypto, you're going to hear creators coming out saying the flippening's coming. And it's like one of those moments where you just realize retail is entering the market and it just becomes one of these mega marketing tactics or something that might get clicks. So, you know, what I do want to know what the article says, though, because it will probably give a price prediction on Ethereum, I would imagine.
Yeah. So, we're going to look at it 1 second. It's a CoinX CEO. So this isn't avatar on Twitter with a dog as a PFP. No, it was an ongoing discussion with CoinX CEO Hypo Yang and Bean and Crypto. They share their bullish outlook for Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin in the current boom. The brain behind the CoinX platform delves into the saga and the reasons why they think this is going to pass Bitcoin here. It began with Bitcoin's initial surge. I want to skip forward a little bit. Discussing the potential, they point out significant impact of market sentiment and institutional acceptance, such as the Bitcoin ETF on crypto trends. And then this contrasts it with the ETH's dynamic ecosystem and its shift to proof of stake, which says he believes positions ETH to possibly eclipse Bitcoin.
What?
So it looks like a little bit of an environmental play, an ESG hedge here. You know, a lot of people are going to say, well, proof of work, bad for the environment. We got to go ahead and attack that thing. And so this is proof of stake. So, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why you could see ETH pass it. I still don't think that's enough.
Is it just alarming to you though that somebody that has done so much in the crypto scene, like, because what he said, this is a CEO of Coin. What was the website again?
CoinX.
CoinX. So CEO of CoinX. My bad. Yeah. So we've seen numerous reports. I mean, there's an endless amount of data out there that you can actually go grab. It's now being reciprocated by the World Economic Forum, the IMF. I go on rants on this all the time. But Bitcoin is actually not terrible for the environment. In fact, it's actually a solution to a lot of the issues that we need for carbon capture through all the CO2 emissions and methane emissions and landfills and power grids and all these renewables, because renewables do waste energy, flare emissions from gas corporations. There's a ton of value to Bitcoin mining. And I don't know if it's an alarm, if it's alarming to me to see a CEO talk about that's in the space, or it's because they're pushing the narrative that their solutions and their product and what they sell benefits more altcoins.
Well, the benefits of ESG, the environmental, the social, the governance. Truck Dano, ESG, every sucker gives. I like that. That's a new acronym right there. Well, we want to look into Say Please as well with the VC backing. I like Say, and I like Say-In as a meme coin on that chain. I think I maybe have like $200 worth. I didn't have that much Say. I put into it a month ago. Probably down. I'm up. Who knows? Glimmer, maybe I might work on a Polkadot video, because folks, that Polkadot call I just gave you, we're up 80, 90% in 4 days. We've almost doubled our money in 4 days from 13 cents to 22 cents.
Woo.
Maybe I'll try to find the next Polkadot ecosystem gym for you. And so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you got those notifications on. And if you're watching on X, go ahead and hit retweet, and I'll go ahead and I'll try to get those videos from our editor and go ahead and put them out on X for you.
Oh, yeah.
But one more thing on ETH passing Bitcoin here. Yang is arguing that ETH's innovation deflationary mechanism and the applications could lead to its value surpassing Bitcoin. Regarding their competitors, they do acknowledge Solana, but he says Solana's centralization is going to diverge from the decentralization ethos of crypto, and he's maintained that ETH's established ecosystem and developer loyalty will continue to cement its leading status. Given all that, even with all that, I would say the number one reason you're not going to see ETH pass Bitcoin, because Bitcoin looks like it's evolving slightly. So if Bitcoin did nothing besides be gold, sure, maybe the internet's computer could pass it one day. But now that there's a Bitcoin L2 ecosystem growing, I think more and more people say, well, if I'm going to do DeFi and I'm some, hedge fund billionaire and I got, $20 million in Bitcoin, I don't know if I want to do that risky thing over there. Bitcoin has DeFi. My Bitcoin earns me more Bitcoin. I think that's going to be a huge narrative over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think there's a clip we're going to be playing from Michael Saylor here soon about people that are against Bitcoin with fiat. I don't know if you have that pulled up already. I'll get it ready here in the pipeline. But seriously, Bitcoin Layer 2s and DeFi are coming up, and we have a crazy article I'm going to be showing here that I found late nights. I spent way too much time going through these blog posts and finding something that I think is going to change the entire narrative and shift us into a new trend this cycle, and is exactly why on the title of this thumbnail, it says, watch these altcoins. We're going to get to those in just a moment. But there is some massive breakthroughs. Okay, so Ethereum may not flip Bitcoin, but it for sure is going to outperform it. And that's because we have a massive upgrade, which we'll get to in just a second, but as well as Hong Kong, China is coming out and they want to be a part of the showdown between the ETFs in the United States and in China as well. And I think you have this article highlighted.
Yeah, like a little Shogun showdown. And yeah, we'll play we share my screen real quick. We're going to play this 25 second thing after this article. Very, very funny. And at the end of the show, I'm going to play 1 minute of this music video. And it is maybe the funniest thing you're going to see in crypto. But at the end of the show, don't worry. All right. So you're saying that Bitcoin ETH ETF showdown in Hong Kong, the Shogun showdown.
This is massive.
Yeah, very, very. Wait a minute. Hong Kong? Is there a lot of money in this? I thought it was like is that a big city?
It's like only the second largest or something like that in the world in terms of GDP.
Oh, and yeah. I'm an American. I thought the world just ended at our borders.
Yeah, no, New York's the only city out there, and then this is actually just Photoshop. It's from NASA.
All right. Well, today I learned, everyone. All right. Well, Hong Kong is setting its sights on becoming a front runner in the crypto market with their plan to launch a spot ETH ETF. This is coming amidst the booming popularity of the Bitcoin ETFs in the U.S. and could significantly alter the digital landscape of investment arena in Asia right here. So the potential rewards are substantial. The triumph of the Bitcoin ETFs is a prime example. They garnered immense investor attention, billions of inflows in the first week, just tons and tons of money being locked up in this asset class. And Hong Kong is understanding the critical role of innovation and attracting capital and establishing itself as a premier crypto gateway in Asia. Asia loves crypto, and they're going to love these ETFs. And I can see a lot of Asian billionaires, 100 millionaires looking for some ETH exposure. So very bullish.
Yeah, think about this is a capital locked nation where, you know, the states are generally, if you're rich in China, I have a lot of devs and friends that are out there, you can't move money out of China very easily whatsoever. So seeing an adoption such as this is going to be huge in terms of both their rich clientele and just their regular retail, because it's like somewhere of upwards of 80% of the amount of money and capital held as a store in terms of retirement is going to be in real estate in China. This is why they have ghost cities. This is due to their local government financial vehicles that have been developed up for like the last multiple decades. There's cities the size of, and not necessarily New York, but definitely up there, that are completely empty because of this. And so they're all looking to rotate their retirements and their investments into a store of value. And that store of value isn't the yuan. It's not real estate. It's going to be Bitcoin. And so I do think this is going to have a larger impact in terms of price action on Ethereum than the BlackRock ETF had on Bitcoin, which was still significant. But that's because Ethereum is a much smaller market cap and you have just as much wealth, if not more, just kind of sitting on the sidelines, stuck, waiting to obtain this capital.
Well, you brought up market caps. ETH's market cap is 477 million. The next largest altcoin, not including Tether, BNB at 90. So yeah, when you start looking at market caps, ETH is just kind of in a world of its own besides Bitcoin. And it's not that far from hitting Bitcoin. Cardano scaling solutions are implemented this year. Probably won't surpass Ethereum soon, but I hope it eventually does. If you're watching on X and you want your Cardano bag to outpump your ETH bag, go ahead and hit retweet on us, repost. We'd really appreciate it. All right, we got the Den Kun upgrade and then DZ's t-shirt idea going to be mentioned here. Ethereum finalizes the Den Kun upgrade in a landmark move to reduce fees on ETH L2s.
Bullish.
Key element of the upgrade is to enable a new place for storing data on Ethereum, referred to as what I think should be on a t-shirt, proto-dank sharding. We all should get excited about proto-dank sharding. This is the most boring thing that's actually kind of exciting. It gives room for a dedicated space on the blockchain that's separate from regular transactions and comes at a lower cost. We scroll down here. It's just implemented minutes ago, folks. We're saying just minutes ago. We're looking probably 20 minutes ago, and I haven't heard, has ETH broken? I don't think so, right?
If it was 20 minutes ago, it's down 1%.
Oh my God. Well, a key element of the upgrade is a new place for storing data on the blockchain referred to as blobs, not the elites in Washington. No, with the dedicated space that's separate from regular transactions and at a lower cost. Central to the upgrade is the implementation of proto-dank sharding as a new transaction category through the introduction of blobs. Boy, they love repeating themselves here. Once Den Kun is implemented, these L2s will be able to post data to Ethereum rather than in clunky transactional data fields where they are currently posting. And then what is sharding? I have a pretty good explanation for sharding. All right, you get a glass mirror and you break it. What do you have? You have a bunch of glass what? Shards. And so sharding is a way to look at a mirror without having to look at the entire mirror. And you know your shard is fitting in because it's like a jigsaw piece. And then you don't have to have the entire mirror of data. You just have your shards. And then all these blobs make full mirrors. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. I think there's a developer out there like, you're wrong. But that's tangentially correct.
I like saying it's like just taking a bunch of transactions, putting it into a mixer blender and blending it up. So it's way easier to swallow. So just faster, more effective, more scalable. You can
and you can take a sip.
Exactly.
And then you take a sip, I take a sip, and we all take sips.
Yeah, we're all sipping.
We're all sipping on that like button. Go ahead and hit that
I wonder if Vital, dude, we're talking about gas, roll-ups, dank. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing when they decided to come out with these terms.
I actually never thought about that. Roll up, gas, it's dank.
Gas. Like, come on, Vital.
And then I sharded. Wait a minute. Whoa.
I don't know what you're smoking, but it ain't that.
What's a proto dank shard?
So what is a it's something that belongs on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, the difference between proto-dank sharding and sharding, I think it has to do with the blobs, but then it starts going way ahead of my skis there. But
too much.
Well, we do have the creator of Base, a top L2 on Ethereum, and he's saying that without an increase in usage, costs could fall down 90 to 95% on some of these L2s. So hey, you know that 7 cents transaction, you're like, now it's 1 cent. So
a win's a win.
Cheap.
A win's a win at this point. But yeah,
a win is a win.
The biggest takeaway is the Ethereum gas fee reduction. So that's going to be huge. Roll-ups and everything I think are just going to be Really good for scalability, especially as we approach. This is why I think Web3 gaming is going to start grabbing a new narrative again. I think it's going to be faster, more cost effective, cheaper. There's going to be actually someone we're interviewing here in a little bit that's going to explain gasless, which is a huge mechanism that can be implemented here in the future. So there's a lot of exciting things coming out with these new upgrades.
Akil the Great, I thought sharding meant something else. No, that's the only meaning. That is the only meaning. Shout out to what is it, Polly? Along came Polly.
Yeah,
the Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was the first time I had ever heard that word. Very, very funny. The elevator scene. But I digress. Let's before we get into Bitcoin. I mean, when are we going to talk to our special guest?
Oh, here in a bit. We're going to get to some Bitcoin price action first before we get into the altcoin topics today. So guys, prepare yourselves in the chat. If you guys got a crypto you've been wanting us to review, we're going to be doing a lot of reviews live today. Just because the markets are wild. We're hitting all-time highs for Bitcoin. As you can see, it nailed $73,600 as ETFs eat away at the supply. We have a massive supply crunch taking place. We have a lot of demand coming into these markets. So we're going to be giving a lot of our insight on some of your favorite products coming up. So let us know in the comments what you're holding and what are undervalued. But Bitcoin bulls have no time for long pullbacks, apparently, DZ, as Bitcoin price dips to $69,000 and is swiftly canceled to replace with new record highs.
Well, part of it is the Wall Street story here. Wall Street open as the bulls beat out the sell side liquidity. Wall Street is saying, stop buying these ETFs. I'm tired of market buying Bitcoin here. So we captured new all-time highs. It looks like Bitstamp had the highest one, $73,679. Beyond that, little friction stood in the way of price discovery towards 80K, evidenced by the lack of liquidation levels. Bitcoin wiped out over-leveraged longs, retested 2021 cycle high, and then bounced back to 72K. I will warn you, once people quit being long, man, I opened a long, I got stopped out, wiping out all these over-leveraged longs. That's when it could dump. So just be careful out there. But now the landscape is looking good for upside continuation. Fund inflows like we've never seen before. It makes 2020 look small. Woo. Price will continue to catch up over the coming months. This was, let's see here. The steady grind, we have a quote, the steady grind to 100K is underway. Historically, when these flows peak, there's 2 to 3 months, the GTFO of the market. Get the F out.
Wow.
The ETFs themselves fetched a record $1 billion in inflows on the 12th. Final data confirms, with the iShores enjoying the lion's shares. 14,000 Bitcoin inflowed on the 12th right there. The two largest, BlackRock and Fidelity, they now have 330,000 Bitcoin as of March 13th, 5 times what the miners added in that same period. So we're seeing a supply crunch happening in the near future.
This is the visual of what that looks like.
Wow.
Bitcoin spot ETF cumulative flow US in terms of millions. So the first day, it is just growing wider and wider and wider and wider, and there's more and more competition. So this is between Vanek, Valkyrie, Franklin, Invesco, ARK, Bitwise, Fidelity, BlackRock, Grayscale, and the green, of course, is the total here. So it is just going up. There's a bit of a dip here at the end of January as Bitcoin's price fell back, and it's just been up and to the right only and scaling quicker and quicker up today. So,
yeah, and I have another visualization. This is from Colin Talks Crypto here. So check this guy out. Here he has a post. Highest ever ETF inflows were yesterday. Emojis. 1 billion in net inflows, new record. 11 billion of Bitcoin has been bought. Ooh. BlackRock alone, 849 million of this, also its highest ever, was just yesterday. Based on these inflows, I would not fade the Bitcoin price. Remember, and then folks, wait till you see him dunk on a reply. Remember, ETFs have up to 24 hours to buy spot Bitcoin with these cash inflows. So in a Nidya Potter, massive selling is going on behind the scene. Hold on, let me scroll. Massive selling going on behind the scene. Price won't go up until May. There's more buys than sells. Prices breaking new all-time highs as you type that. Folks, just be careful shorting this market. This market is a lot more bullish than you were prepared for. If we go to the 5-minute chart, looks like a little bit of consolidation here. But the wicks are getting bought up just as quickly as it's dropping. Bitcoin is basically blasted to the upside here. And then sometimes just these God green candles come out of nowhere. Just be careful. Just careful trying to short. Be careful kind of long it right now.
Shorting and leverage right now is just, you're wild for doing so. I mean,
someone tell Gareth.
Yeah, I want you to do some, I think, was that market value or what were you having? Or Microsoft?
This is down below is the Lux Algo indicator.
Use Lux Algo, got you. I have another chart here that shows the inflows in a visual representation of 2020 versus 2021. So the net flows here, guys, this was where the Bitcoin spot ETF was approved. We are hitting for the first time, this is from Willy Woo on Twitter, daily inflows of capital being stored by the Bitcoin network just hit $2 billion per day. That's the level we hit in the last full-blown bull regime. So this time is just going to climb much, much higher. And this is with institutions. So we have the ETF inflow coming into this market. We now have an Ethereum ETF potentially taking place in Hong Kong, and as well as one launching in the United States more than likely in the end of May. So this is Bitcoin inflow. Just imagine what it's going to mean for altcoins as we see massive inflows come into projects like Ethereum. There is so much more opportunity in these markets, and it's why we're preparing ourselves to honestly anticipate, hopefully, what the next trends will be in this market. And I have quite a few cryptos we're going to get to at the end of this episode. You guys got to make sure you hit that like button at 500 likes. As always, guys, me and DZ will give you our fair value insights as well as just ultimately the projects that we are watching. But today, we have an amazing guest joining us. So welcome to the show. Speaking of amazing price action too, I mean, Alium is one of the projects that has been a leading altcoin in these markets right now. I think chat, everybody's going to know what project this is. But welcome to the show today. It's amazing to have you. We have tons of questions on just being one of the lead innovators in the crypto industry.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Is it
Yes,
cool?
we can hear you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super happy to be here.
All right, great to have you on, and just so we can kind of lay down the foundational blocks for Alium, just so people have a better understanding. Yep. What are the main benefits of Alium? They say it's scalable for devs. What exactly does that mean in layman's terms?
I think you can look at the innovation around Alium around three pillars. One is around the main thing is it's a platform for token, smart contract, and dApp. And where it really differs from the industry is because we are building on the UTXO model, on an evolution of the UTXO model. So really wanted to offer an alternative to what the majority of the industry is using, which is basically account-based EVM or EVM-compatible chain. So one of the innovation that we have is around scalability. We use sharding, which means our network are multiple chain running in parallel. But where we do sharding a little bit differently, because we are UTXO based, is that because what is on chain is actually the transaction and not the account. No matter where and how you transact on the network, you're always transacting on chain and being secured by our consensus algorithm, which is a little twist on proof of work. I think for me, the most game-changing innovation is around our development environment with our smart contract language and custom virtual machine, which basically mitigates a lot of the attack vectors that you see in the industry, like reentrancy attack, which drains protocol almost every week. I think during the bear market, this is a $1 billion worth of assets that are being stolen. And we are a proof of work chain, but we have a little twist on proof of work, which is called proof of less work, which basically kind of limits the energy consumption of the network at large scale. So
less work, but makes more money. I think that's everybody's dream in the crypto industry. I do have to ask, as a layer one smart contract provider, what is the objective of your guys' development? Are you guys focusing on the AI sector? Are you guys focusing on DePIN? Are you guys focusing on whether it's Web3 or metaverses? What are the developers that you guys are specifically targeting?
I think right now, Alium is really great for the increased security and ease of development for smart contract developers. So this really transcends a little bit specific application. But I think it's very, like DeFi would be definitely an area of focus, but that also can be extended to NFT. There's one thing maybe that Alium isn't very well suited for, and maybe that's a little bit easier to narrow down. It's not meant to store large amount of data on chain. So like IoT application where you would want to have like a lot of data stored on chain, that maybe isn't the best blockchain for this, because we want to keep the blockchain not too bloated. You want it to stay fast and scalable.
I have you're talking about scalable. Well, scalability, I think, is going to be a big issue in the world just over the next 5, 10, 20 years. And one of the things, I kind of want to double click on proof of less work. So it uses 1/8 of Bitcoin's energy consumption, it appears. So it's using less work. I think that will be important. You have AI just absorbing so much of the compute power in the world. All these chips are just being bought before they're even created, before they're even rolling off the assembly lines. Is that going to be a narrative? I mean, will there be a narrative where proof of less work? I mean, it was under attack pretty strongly in 2021. We don't see the attack of proof of work today. Do you think it'll resurrect, or is the worst days behind us?
I mean, I'm hoping the worst days are behind us, because I think that I personally, and that's just my opinion, I know people might disagree, but I think that people are not necessarily looking holistically at people are looking at the cost of mining a new block, but they are completely ignoring a lot of time the cost of accessing the on-chain data, which on most proof of work chain and on Alephium, that I can say for sure, anyone can run a node to actually access on-chain data directly. And people tend to forget. I mean, maybe it's not relevant to a lot of the user base, but it is very relevant in what blockchain is trying to solve, is a disintermediation. In a lot of proof of stake environments, the cost of running a node, not talking about validator node, just a node to be able to get firsthand blockchain data, is out of reach for individual, and in some cases even company. So you have to rely on third party to get blockchain data, which again, for a lot of application might be suitable, but that is a little bit against, I think, what blockchain was about in the first place.
Yeah, some nodes you can't even operate. You know, it'll break a laptop, it'll break an expensive gaming PC. Your node seems to be a little bit easier now. Just for people who are looking into mining, you will have to sync the entire blockchain. What does that first syncing take as far as time-wise? Because, I mean, is this 2 weeks, 4 weeks? Is this 2 hours, 2 days? How long does it take to sync initially?
So the full node right now is around 24 hours if you want to sync it. But we have snapshot that you can load if you want to fast track it. And we have we actually have something coming out about this very soon. We have released a way to prune the node to be able to fast track also the size and how quickly you can, the size of the node as well.
All right. Well, we have a miner on our producer side right now. I believe you've been mining Alephium, Nick, correct? Yeah. I'm sure people want to hear. Our mining community wants to hear from Nick. Nick, ask those really technical, nerdy mining questions that's way over me and Josh's head here.
So, and I can't put myself on camera. But
I'll speak through
I'll
you.
mouth for you. Yeah.
Maud and I have spoken a lot on X. Stop, Josh. We've spoken a lot on X about the mining community. And my question for Maud here is, like, why did Alephium, excuse me, my American accent, why did Alephium choose to go with proof of less work when just the overwhelming majority of chains were going proof of stake? And what is the future looking like for mining Alephium with proof of less work?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a number of factors. First, I think proof of work as a consensus algorithm has really been tested at large scale through time. It is battle tested. It's battle tested. And also we kind of feel like this is, again, many people have different perspective in the space, but our perspective is that it is the most robust way to ensure decentralization and that it is a network that is permissionless. So we feel like this is really the most robust way.
All right. Well, I used to be super into NFTs. I made almost exclusively NFT content. I see Alephium, sorry, my American accent, also has NFTs. What's that ecosystem been like? Is it starting to generate a little excitement on the chain?
Yeah, I mean, it's very new because we had the first dApps on Alephium started being built during the summer 2023. With the first an NFT marketplace being one of the first of them. We're starting to see a lot of engagement around the NFT that are being built. A lot more collection. In the beginning, I could keep track of them. Now I can't. So it shows that it grows. But I think they do resonate really well with the community. And actually, we had a really fun NFT project during our last hackathon. We were having kind of those community calls during our hackathon, and we were joking that we needed kind of a vending machine for, the snack for the meetings. And someone during the hackathon just whip up together a nice NFT vending machine so we could get some digital snacks before or a technical call. So I see a lot of enthusiasm in our community, yes.
Yeah, and to kind of jump off of that as well, a lot of our community is brand new to the crypto industry, and they've been, of course, following the latest trends, which were definitely within AI and the decentralized physical infrastructure narratives. What are some of the trends that you're starting to see emerge as one of the leading layer ones right now that have been performing over the last few months? Is it going to be storage, like you mentioned earlier? Is it NFTs? Do you see anything that money is flowing into now that you expect to ramp up over the coming months?
I mean, I think that AI is kind of a very clear one. We hear this at every sauce. This is AI is definitely a big topic. I mean, I do hope, but this one is really Aletheum specific. I do hope as more people start building on Aletheum, because we are UTXO based, it really is an unexplored development environment where there's maybe really interesting ways to innovate on existing application, whether it is on the DeFi space, on the NFT space. So I'm also keen to see how the technology that we've put forward can encourage people to innovate in new ways on existing industries.
And what's one kind of, I'm not gonna say advice, but feedback, because of course no one's a financial advisor here, but for somebody that's been in multiple cycles developing, again, a large scale project, what is something you could tell to new retailers that are entering this market at the top of this cycle? I mean, we are at all-time highs for Bitcoin. I believe there's tons and tons of room to go, lots of more development. We all anticipate and expect that. But what's something that you've learned in the past that you can just tell to our audience that might be new to crypto? What should they expect from these historical cycles?
I mean, it's a very emotional space. I think really you see the mood of communities shift from literally half a day from one another. So I think it's important that people keep a cool head and really do their own research, like do your own research, and do not let yourself overwhelmed by emotion. It's really hard. Like, it's not, I think everyone here can say it. It's really hard because it is a very emotional space. So it's about, keeping a cool head when you make your decision and trying to stick to it and not being emotionally swing throughout those cycles.
Well, if there's anyone who's not emotionally swayed, it is autistic programmers. I said it. How did your hackathon go? What was the good takeaways from that? What was one of the maybe more exciting things?
Well, first, honestly, for us as a young project was the turnout. We really, as our first hackathon, we expected it to be pretty modest, but for at least it probably is if you look at the big scale and other project. But for us, we had 105 people registering at the end. It translated into over 25 projects in the final submissions. With developers, with a lot of new developers coming from other ecosystems like Cadena, Solana. And we also had like junior developers trying on Aletheum for the first time and having an overwhelming positive feedback on our technology or development environment was really validating because at the end of the day, I'm not a dev, so I have to believe our developers when they tell me, hey, we're building something that is very developer friendly. So having developers confirm this, I think at least for me was really great. And we've been really surprised by the quality of the project that were submitted, like some very important new features were built. So yeah, I think for us, it was an overwhelming success.
All right, getting pretty excited now. There's rumors that people are getting really excited about as far as Aletheum goes, and that is a potential tier 1 centralized exchange listings. I know you can't front run any information, but can you say, is the team focused on outreach and then just trying to get this in as many people's wallets or portfolios?
Yes, at this one, I'm sorry. It's like I can say a lot of the exchange, as a layer 1, it's really hard to get listed. As you go up the tier, the requirement to get listed are higher because it requires a lot more integration work and maintenance work for exchange to then maintain the infrastructure. So we've been working on tier 1 exchange for 2 years. So it's like this isn't something, and this is something we are putting our focus on. But at the end of the day, it's not our decision. So definitely something that we are working on. There are listing coming in the next 1.5 months. You should see further listing. I don't know if it will be the listing that people are hoping for. I can say it's not Binance. That's that one. Like I have no problem telling you.
Dang.
But we are working on it as much as we can, and pushing every day and sharing positive news and engagement to the ecosystem. And I mean, within the proof of work space, we had a pretty nice show of confidence from Bitmain, which is one of the biggest ASICs manufacturer, who was one of the sponsors of our hackathon. So I think that there are signs that within the broader industry, people are also seeing potential in the Alium ecosystem. And I am very confident that things like this will help fast track those a little bit more challenging listings that we have coming along.
Is it because do you need to know Ralph And not Ralph's not a guy. Ralph's the coding language. It's like a cousin of Rust. Do they need to know Ralph, or are they able to implement just with like Rust knowledge?
So are you talking for exchange, or are you talking
Yes,
for
to get it on exchange? Because there's infrastructure, and Cardano has the same issues. Like, well, no one that works here knows how to code for it. Is that the hurdle here?
So it's not So it's not so much that it's not a hurdle when it comes to language. Is that it is a node that they have to maintain. It's a wallet that they have to implement. So it's really more an integration problematic. Whereas if you're just a token like an ERC20 token, they just have to add they literally copy the contract address into a field and you are listed. Whereas as a new infrastructure, they have to build really all of the infra on their end.
Well, Mod, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here today. It seems like the community is definitely involved with Alephium here pretty well in the chat. So shout out to Gabe and all the community members that have been commenting on this. Is there anything you can leave us with? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to keep hounding you on the centralized exchange listings here. But is there anything big coming up in terms of maybe another hackathon or something that Alephium's got going up in the near future that the community can participate in?
I mean, we will start going a little bit more to events. We were not very present on. We will start by going actually to Bitmain event in March in Oman which is around mining. So cryptocurrency mining. So that would be the start, and we'll try to be more present to engage with the community. We're organizing a developer meetup also for probably end of Q2 this year. And we keep building. The biggest thing I think for people is our network upgrade that will reduce the block time by 4, introduce gasless transaction, and many other things. So I think that is a pretty big milestone that our community should be looking forward to.
Well, we're excited for it. Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Yeah, chat getting a little excited about that coin. Yeah, it's definitely on my radar. Nick's been talking about it for a long time, and so I'll have to add it to some watch lists for sure.
Nick is up so much on Alephium, dude. He's been mining at the entire bear market. It's up from 15 cents to $3, chat, and is why we're going to be covering a ton of altcoins today and more opportunity coming to these markets. But we're excited. So shout out everybody joining us today. We got a lot of articles we do have to break down here. We have 1,500 Bitcoin millionaires are being created each and every single day as we approach all-time highs, guys. Massive volume coming in for these markets. Again, as we hit new all-time highs, more and more people are making money, more and more people are taking money. And of course, that is why there's a massive transfer of Bitcoin wealth underway as investor sentiment edges closer to euphoria, analytics firm's Glassnode speaks on. Now, I know you have this article highlighted, DZ, but I wanted to touch on the euphoria because Maud put out she explained something very well, which was the emotional state and the current state of the markets right now. And as prices go higher and higher, it gets more and more emotional. And it creates this emotional roller coaster that people really have a hard time navigating. So what are we looking at in terms of euphoria in these markets?
We are not there yet. We're going to touch some local greeds. We're going to hit some local things. But euphoria to me, and I tweeted about this here. Let me just go ahead and show it because I tweeted about this and kind of sums up everything I'm saying here. Retweeted by CryptoFace, so that makes me feel a little bit better. So this was Rick on Dave Portnoy. Drake posting Sailor's interview on Instagram. This person's 250 away from putting whiff on the Vegas sphere for a week.
They did it, by the way.
We haven't even started yet. So a lot of people are saying these are top signals. These are clearly top signals. Oh no, Drake's shilling. That's the top. You are dead. This is my take. You are dead wrong if you think these are top signals. The celebs posting about crypto now were here last cycle. The top signals will be when celebs who never bought crypto start flocking in. I think if you're getting messaged by your neighbor, you're getting messaged by your cousin asking you about crypto, that's the neighbor, that's the cousin you've been hounding for 5 years. It's the person you've never mentioned crypto to when they reach out to you, the neighbor you've never talked to, but they see your Bitcoin bumper sticker, they reach out. That's when you maybe start looking for exit strategies.
Yeah, it's, and I'm starting to get those messages, right? I'm having people but it's not the messages just yet from the people that haven't been in crypto at all. It's from the people that definitely got wrecked last cycle coming back in and saying, hey, should I be more exposed? Because they never ended up adding more to their bags in the bear market. And they ended up just staying sidelined. So I still think we're a little bit early from that. But yeah, as soon as you have, I remember specifically 2021 on the way to, I think it was Bitcoin Miami, but it wasn't in Miami. It was on my way to the actual airport. The Uber driver was telling me about SafeMoon, out of all things at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the top of the market, right? I had the Uber driver telling me on my way to the airport hey, you should be really picking up this cryptocurrency. And it wasn't even me that brought up the conversation. He just goes, hey, there's this new thing you should really know about. That sparked some red flags.
Yeah, mine was, it was right before I moved out here. So it was really close to the first Bitcoin top in 2021. And I'm doing some insurance information swapping for my vehicle. And there's 4 people in the office and 2 of them own Doge. And they're like, oh, so you're moving out of state? I said, yeah, I'm moving to Georgia. Why are you moving out of state? I'm go work for this crypto company. And they're like, oh yeah, we bought Doge. That should have been my sign right there. All right. No, that was that was March. Yeah. So many years ago, Nick. So many years ago, Nick. I do want to look at charts real quickly before we get into elections or anything. Yeah. This is the Bitcoin. This is the Cardano chart. Here we go. Bitcoin chart right now on the daily. Folks, just look at this run up we've been on. I was at January 11th. Let's go ahead and go to a January 11th. So was BlackRock buying a buy the rumor, sell the news? Well, you would miss out on a 60% pump right there. So if you sold like, oh, that's just going to be the buy the rumor, sell the news, it's definitely going to dump. Yeah, it fell a little bit. Let's see. What did it fall? Even if we don't catch from the top there. I mean, yeah, it fell 15%. People were probably expecting a little bit higher. But the reason I'm pulling this chart up is look at Bitcoin, all-time highs. It feels fantastic. What is the coin I'm known for liking too much?
Cardano?
It is. It is Cardano. It is Cardano. So I'm pulling up the Cardano daily, and man, you don't see anything close to that, right? You're like, oh, wait a minute. ADA market cap. Okay,
are you trying to tell me Cardano is going to outperform Bitcoin?
Depending on what metric. On certain time frames, yes.
I think
on certain time frames, yes.
Too.
So this is the daily chart, and if we hit, wait a minute, oh, whoa, we're way up there. So what are we doing all the way down here? Well, Bitcoin is breaking new all-time highs, and Cardano is lagging. Well, what happened in 2020? So this is 2020. This is the Bitcoin daily chart that we're looking at right here. And this is December 20. And we're right here at $20,000. You can see it went on a tear. If I move it in a little bit, there you go. You can kind of see the rest there. So Bitcoin went on a run like no other. Very, very good. Oh, dang it. Get off of me. All right, here we go. This was over 21 days, 100% pump. All right, so what did Cardano do during this period? So this is December 19th. December 16th is when the breakout kind of happened. So, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, December 16th. That's this candle, December 16th. We go here. This is December 16th, 2020. Did Cardano break out when Bitcoin broke out? No, it didn't. It actually dumped. Cardano dumped when Bitcoin broke out in 2020. It fell. If we catch from this wick, folks, that's actually kind of considerable. That is a 33% drop right there.
And that is when?
Oh, God. This is market cap again. Yeah, so it's still going to be very, very similar. So let me go ahead and hit coin price right here. I want to have Tether. What the frick is going on? Oh, there we go. There we go. ADA USDT spot. Wanted Binance. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we're going to go back to December 2020. It's going to be right here. And then 1,300 people watching on X, folks. So make sure you go ahead and hit that like button if you're watching right now. So back to December 20, you can see right here, boom, I have it highlighted. Nothing happened. Nothing happened on the 16th except Cardano fell 2 days later. Fell. We just get the freshest data right here. Cardano fell 30% as Bitcoin's breaking out. But what happened later, folks? Cardano decided to go on a nap. Cardano took a nap for 2 weeks, and then it went parabolic. I'm not going to say Cardano's going to go on another slumber for 10 more days, but just some interesting data that I wanted to highlight to you. People are saying, well, this coin isn't breaking out. This coin sucks. I should just dump it. Be careful dumping and chasing a green wick right now. Cardano likes to pump on its own time, and I think this time is going to be no different. Cardano will pump. Just got to be a little bit patient, folks. Hit that like button if I've just made you bullish.
I went ahead and pulled up a few charts as well at the signals and the high blocks just to see where liquidations are at. So if you guys are curious to know where Bitcoin's price can hit next, really the biggest area I'm going to be watching is the 74,800 levels. So I'm going to actually move this over so you guys can see. So 74,800, you could see this massive sell order coming in, which is significantly above us. Now, the reason why I do think we can get some price action to the upside is obviously we came down to that $69,000 range right here, 69,200. This is, of course, we're looking at the daily here. We've tested this a few times, but we're turning that previous all-time high into some support. And now the order blocks coming in, when we look at our liquidation levels, these are starting to ramp up. So if you guys are new to the channel, don't get scared. Don't get complicated. These charts are very easy to understand. It's like a color book. The brighter the color, the more liquidations and the more money is at that zone. So if we were to, look at this in terms of, hey, the brighter the color, that is a support or resistance line, we can see that there is a ton of support now at 66K. And that is starting to stack up more and more and more. And this price point, guys, has been edging higher and higher and higher, showing us that bulls are outpacing those bears. And we're starting to see now new liquidations created from our short sellers. So shout out to all the bears in chat. Can we get some
hit the like button
+1 for bears, guys, because they're the reason why we're going higher. The bears are the ones shorting the markets. The Garrets out there are the reason that we're pushing prices higher. And now we're seeing liquidation levels all the way up to $87,000 or $86,000. So right now, the next significant area of resistance is going to be about 74,800. And we will probably come up to that range, test it, see some resistance, fall back down a little bit before we break higher. But right now, markets are more bullish than bearish as it stands today. So we could see some movement here over the coming days or the coming hours of a price action of $74,800 Bitcoin.
All right. Well, speaking of falling down, Dusty Mountain Climber, Discover Crypto growing on me. Don't fall down while you're climbing, Dusty. Make sure your hands are dusty. Are you supposed to chalk up? Isn't that what they do? They chalk up. All right, here, let me just...
I think that was good.
I didn't realize the pump was this incredible on Cardano.
Wow.
So if all right, so this is from the 16th, right? So this is from the day Bitcoin broke out in 2020. I didn't realize it was that much. In 22 days, it was 100% pump. Let's just do a month. So after a month, nice little 100% pump. After 2 months, 400% pump. That's 61 days. And then right here, 73 days later, 767% pump. Is there a Boeing 767?
Not that I am flying. I will be
that
shorting
doesn't
it.
bode
If
well.
you're saying Cardano is Boeing, I have to short it, DZ.
No. Who got a short in on Boeing, though? Nick, did you get your short in? You're still trying to...
I'm waiting on approval from Charles Schwab, but I'm going to short it very soon.
All right. Yeah, shorting Boeing.
I might have to accumulate.
Yeah, someone in the chat said then Cardano did a 30x, pretty close to a 30x. You can see it was the low 10 cents, 15
I would
cent
rather
range
fly
up
on
to $3.
any Boeing airline flight if it meant I didn't have to fly in Spirit.
Okay. I bought a little Spirit stock with Dave Portnoy, sold into the pump. I should have bought MicroStrategy, didn't buy any MicroStrategy. Should have bought Doge. There's so many things. I kept it as cash like an idiot. All right.
I did want to show one last thing on the chart here that was incredibly bullish. So I went to the 4 hour because we were on the daily there. You can see here this was very bullish. This is when we turned that previous kind of all-time high that we couldn't break out of into support. So this was a massive bounce, massive resistance layer at 69,200. But this is the little yellow blob, okay? This little yellow blob is bullish. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I have to get rid of the highlighter to do so. But you'll see that there's a massive imbalance or EI at this range of 73,800. So what this generally tells us, guys, these are like magnets. These yellow lines are your greatest support or greatest resistance levels. And when one's created, price tends to always come back and fill that. I've used this website for years at this point, and I've analyzed it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. That is incredibly bullish. We might come down to $71,000 right here. This is going to be our next area of support in the near term. But if we really break that 73,400 right now, we're probably going to get that upside sooner than people speak. I'd say within the next 12 to 24 hours here.
All right. And I think it's just signaling the shift that's happening by the people that 5 years ago, you couldn't even say Bitcoin in a meeting. Now you can actually discuss adding Bitcoin to your portfolio or adding Bitcoin or any kind of crypto adoption in a major way. And that takes us to our next story. I'm going to skip here. Blockchain moved from 28 companies, including Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, and BNY Mellon. So very, very bullish here. I just kind of want to list some of the other names here. Goldman Sachs, Paxos, Oliver Wyman. So we have custodians, exchanges, seamlessly trying to transact and settle tokenized assets. So this is a Canton pilot program. It enabled 15 asset managers and 13 banks. So very, very bullish. We're seeing more and more just widespread adoption happening right there. Visa, there we go. I was looking for some of these big names. State Street, also very, very well-known. You know who started there? Sam Bankman-Fried met Caroline at State Street. True story.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
true story.
on State Street or at State Street?
In a dark alley, actually.
That would make more sense.
On top of cardboard box.
On the top of cardboard box,
with, like,
on top of like a stained, gross mattress.
Spilled Chinese takeout. It was used as a.
Ew, I smell it. I smell it.
Yeah, we can smell it. So hit that like button if you can already. You can taste the air. All right. Well, I could taste an upcoming election that's going to have a lot of volatility for crypto, for the economy, and just for the ease of how you feel when you're laying in your bed at night. Crypto to play a major role in the 2024 U.S. elections. This is according to Eleanor Terrett. She was saying this with a interview with Tony Edward, who was on ATB last night from Thinking Crypto. So make sure you go watch ATB last night. And she's saying crypto is influencing the narrative in campaigns. And according to her, many people were initially skeptical about whether it would significantly impact electoral process. But now she's saying the recent events are proving them wrong, as elements of this crypto industry are growing in popularity. And one of the highlights here is the Stand With Crypto Alliance. This is an advocacy group by Coinbase, which now has over 300,000 members. And then the real impact was the $90 million in the Q1 ad campaign right there. A lot of people are saying it helped push a lot of candidates over the line. Also highlighted Deaton and all the support he's getting from people like Charles Hoskinson. We had Deaton on the live show and Charles Hoskinson on the live show. So I guess in a way we're rooting for them. Yeah, we're rooting for them.
I think we're rooting for them.
Deaton's trying to take down Elizabeth Warren. So we're rooting for
speaking
him.
of rooting, I want to ask chat here, guys. Put 1 in chat if you guys want us to get to the altcoin section and start reviewing right now, or 2 if you want us to get through a couple more articles, because there are some important ones. Let us know what you guys want to see out of this show today. I'm very curious because we do have some altcoins we got to break down and an amazing interview, but it is pushing us on time.
Let me do this one bullish story.
I'm just curious.
What's happening with MicroStrategy? They're raising debt. What are they doing with this debt? Buying more Bitcoin.
Ooh.
They're buying more Bitcoin.
They're taking on more debt. They're borrowing more fiat to buy more Bitcoin.
And you don't have to pay it back for 7 years, or it's due in 7 years. So, what do you think Bitcoin's going to be higher 7 years from now? Or can you find an exit 7 years from now? It's going to be significantly higher to pay off your loan.
I would love to calculate that. If we were going 4-year cycles, would that be mid-bear market or mid-bull market?
Well, you could also take some profits at different times. So basically what I'm saying, MicroStrategy has MicroStrategy. Their strategy is micro. No, their strategy is raise debt, buy Bitcoin. Now Coinbase is raising $1 billion. Then there's rumors, people are wondering, what are they going to do with this $1 billion? Are they just going to buy more Bitcoin? This is going to be due 2026, and then these are going to be due 2031. So just a rumor. We don't know what they're going to do. We have to wait for some more filings. But Coinbase potentially raising debt just to start buying more Bitcoin. Very, very bullish for Bitcoin. The dominoes look like they're starting to fall. And I think people want altcoin stuff, right?
I think we're in between, about half and half. So we'll finish out a few more articles because I think this jumps into that's the Coinbase to offer 1 billion senior notes, correct?
Yes.
I think, is that where you were just on?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit then. What was the highlighted section at the bottom?
The highlight is just going over the numbers. I don't want to bore people with the notes being convertible. 3.375% senior note due 220. Yeah, I mean, this is just the weeds. The main story, the meat and potatoes. $1 billion, most likely probably going to buy a lot of Bitcoin. But speaking of, calls and, let's just talk about Capo here. Capo, very, very popular trader. Known for calling it pretty incorrectly recently. I think that's fair to say. Nick, is that fair to say?
Yeah, Capo's a joke now.
I'm trying to be unbiased here.
Is he the Kramer of crypto?
He's the Kramer of crypto.
Yeah, not the reverse.
He's just arrogant. His pride has gotten in the way of his ability to analyze data, and so
if you have a friend or family member or loved one,
a bear in your family.
If you have a bear in your family, go ahead
like
and call
Hudson
1-800-BEAR now, and we will take care of them. We'll just dispose of them.
Let's go ahead and make just make a hotline. Go straight to my phone, and I'm going to say, "Have fun being poor," and then we'll play the Michael Saylor clip. We did play the Michael Saylor clip, right?
No, we did not yet.
Yep. Say what?
We have not played it yet.
We have not played it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No. Let's go ahead.
Send this to them. This is all you have to do.
All right, here we go. Just going to scroll down. This is Michael Saylor. Yeah, hit refresh.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, we're good to go. All right.
Yeah. Got to turn your.
Sell it eventually, Michael. I mean, let's be honest.
Real estate because they expect
because they want to sell it eventually,
desirable.
Michael. I mean, let's be honest. Most of the people who are, yes, sure, some people pass it on to their children, but like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets. To the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit. So
let me say it a different way.
Okay.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, there's a name for them. We call them poor. Okay. Anybody that's rich.
Look at her face. Look at her. We call them stank poor. Face.
Okay. Anybody that's rich in the real estate.
Stank face. She got a little stank face right there.
Wow.
Yeah. The chat.
Take profit. Well, you're poor.
That's pretty funny. Pretty
savage.
funny.
Just straight up savage.
All right. Well, back to Capo. Good stuff there. So Capo, he's bearish, right? So, he's just been wrong on all his bearish takes here. And he's saying AVAX has reached this main resistance point after its impressive 18% rise. So he's now flipped bearish on Avalanche and saying Avalanche is going to fall as far as $24. So is this a buy signal? I don't know. He's also bearish on Polygon, saying Polygon's hit its main resistance, and the next stop is going to fall to $1. Polygon, that's really close to a psychological level, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that dollar level to be used as a springboard. But yeah, he's flipped bearish on Matic and Avalanche. We'll just track this and see how it ages. EtherFi restaking to launch ETHFi token on Binance Launch Pool. So if you're jumping in that's pretty good. Radiant hitting a 9-month high. Will this bullish rally continue? Looks like it's a price 9-month high, 42 cents, 100% increase over the previous 6 months.
I think this is where we just jump into altcoins ourselves now. I think you got the one Cardano one with the USDM here. I don't know if you have any bullish insight on that.
So the USDM is going to take a lot of. It's got a lot of hurdles. It's not part of the Circle consortium. It's not part of Tether, and so it has the uphill battle of trading pairs on other centralized exchanges. But Cardano does need a stable coin. The stable coin that I use is the ZED token, and it isn't stable. And if we look. Wait a minute, how does stable coin fall 98 cents? But before you freak out, it goes above $1 too. So you can see here $1.03. Yeah, it isn't. If anything, it averages like 99 cents. You get spikes where it's above $1. So yeah, Cardano needs something that's just stable. And so I'm rooting for USDM. I'll probably start using that in addition to Zed. I like the Cody team.
We ready
Cody
for some altcoin talk here? I'm ready for some altcoin talk. So chat, guys, go ahead and let us know again what altcoins you're watching. I did pull up a few that you guys were looking at. One was Vanar Chain, which I actually had been mentioning to you because it was going to be hyped up a ton because it's trending right now on Twitter as well as CoinMarketCap. Of course,
not Vaynerchuk, not Gary V.
Not the Gary V. I think he wishes this was Gary V, but up 35% today. This chart is just going parabolic. And the reason for it, this is starting to trend on Twitter due to a tease that they had a massive partnership. And that partnership apparently came out today as NVIDIA. So Vanar is thrilled to welcome NVIDIA as its latest addition to the Vanar chain ecosystem. Now, what I wanted to show you guys about this, because it's pumping relentlessly off this, but notice the wording here. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. It says, with NVIDIA's infrastructure, all projects that are part of the Vanar AI metaverse and gaming ecosystem will gain access to cutting-edge technology. They will empower our developer community to integrate NVIDIA's technologies, including Cuba, Tensor, Omniverse, and GameWorks. So is this an actual partnership or is it just an integration of their existing product?
Depends on your definition of partnership. NVIDIA has development tools that people can use. And so part of their business model of NVIDIA is sharing compute power for poor college kids that want to do gaming in their dorm room, right? So I would say that's the number one use case. So they're tapping into that. So, I mean, if you get approved for that, are you a partner? Or are you just someone using their tax or their tech stack? I mean, it's a loose distinction. If you're bullish on the coin, it's a partnership. If you're bearish on the coin, you say, well, they open it up to everybody. It's like Chainlink. It's like using Chainlink oracles.
I did pull it up, and it is kind of interesting. So this is a layer 1 that's focusing on metaverses, Web3 gaming, etc. They have a zero-fee lightning fast chain with mainstream adoption in its DNA. So I'm going to guess they're going to definitely
when I think of a chain, I think of its DNA.
Yeah, that was just marketing.
Oh, wait, mainstream adoption's in the DNA?
I fell for the marketing.
Bearish.
I fell for the marketing. But they do apparently have multiple games launching. They have their marketplace and everything. And like I said in the beginning, I do believe VR and metaverses and Web3 gaming are going to start to ramp up. So shout out to anybody that does hold this. If you're not in on it, I'm personally not jumping into the top of a green candlestick just because they announced they're integrating NVIDIA to their platform, right? That's not going to be the reason why I hold this project. But if you guys are in, shout out to you guys. It's up nearly 100%. Actually, it's up 400%, 500%. What's the bottom here? 5 cents essentially in just about the last 2 to 3 months, about 5-6x, which is insane, almost 7x in some positions. So shout out to you guys if you guys are making money on that. Well, what other projects we got? We have
Kulo. So I was saying Kulo's dumping, and I checked the 24-hour. It's down 2.9%. It is down from like on the 8-hour. It's way down. Oh my God, it's down. Then you click 7-day. You're like, oh, okay. I'm not okay. Hold on. Let's scroll down. What's the market cap? 29 million. I got in at 26 million in that video when I bought. So I mean, okay, I'm not.
So you're kind of break even right now.
Yeah. It's Polygon, so there's no real gas fee. Maybe slippage though. So maybe with slippage, yeah, I'm maybe break even.
I have a question I want to get your thoughts on too, because this is coming from chat. Is KDA? So Kadena was a huge performer last bull market. If you guys look at the monthly here, it's up from about $1 to $1.70. In the last 3 months, it's up for about 70 cents. So it's done about a 3x. But what you need to do is 100% click that max. Because when you click max, I mean, the price action. What's that?
Roll up more.
Roll up more?
It cuts off the bottom.
Oh, okay. So $1.70 right there. Oh, for the price action. I see what you're saying. So yeah, I'll just look at that screen. Yeah, absolutely exploded this market. So I want to click on market cap. Oh, still hasn't
I've looked
moved
at this.
it.
The 20x turns into 8x, I believe.
Yeah,
I'd have to check the math here.
Man, that was good.
So we're at let's see.
Yeah, so 500 billion or so. It's going to go to 4 billion was the all-time high. That's about an 8x.
450 to 4. Yeah, roughly about that. Yeah, the 8x. And then the 20x becomes an 8x. Okay.
So do you have thoughts on Kadena overall, or do you think this is going to catch as another narrative into the markets? Kadena is another layer one. There are no welcome to layer H. There are no layer ones or layer two solutions capable of scaling to serve all of humanity. But where others can't, Kadena can. Welcome to the layer H, the human layer.
Well, I'm looking at their socials right now. We could share a screen here. They're tweeting pretty regularly here. This is from just a couple days ago. What part of DPIN would you like to see? So they're leaning into narratives. That could be good or bad. Maybe not the best long term, but good short term for sure. They have looked like they put out little bits of media, which is also good. They have the yellow check mark. A lot of smart people like Kadena. I haven't looked into it myself. I'll go and admit I would pass my. I'll pass my cap to Nick here, because Nick, you know a lot more about proof of work ecosystem. I would say it's almost your specialty is the proof of work ecosystem.
Yep.
And that would drop some alpha.
What's the Diamond Undies take on Kadena?
Diamond Undies take is Kadena is big money, because Kadena is very strong ties to Goldman Sachs. Okay,
so I remember you talking about this. Is this where a lot of the obsolete Bitcoin mining equipment went just over the past 2 years?
No, that's a different project.
Oh, okay.
Different project. I'm curious about the Goldman Sachs, because I know from this project, the reason why I would say I would be bullish on it, I still think has some legs in this market, is because it was founded by Stuart Popejoy and William Martino, one who created, of course, JP Morgan's first blockchain.
That was it, not Goldman.
And their advisory team is Stuart Haber, which is cited multiple times in Satoshi Nakamoto's 2008 Bitcoin white paper.
That's bullish. Yeah. The JP Morgan, using
I think this is bullish too.
So the founder created the blockchain that Jeffrey Epstein's banker uses. I mean, that's bullish.
And they got away with it for decades. So shout out to them for that tech. But then again, the Satoshi Nakamoto actually citing him in the Bitcoin white paper that's kind of insane. That's some top tier. This is as OG as you can get in terms of the cypherpunk era.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's very, very bullish. That is, it's sometimes you don't need to know the story. You need to know the players in the story. And I would say the players here is very, very important. So seeing that founding team does definitely make me a little bit more bullish.
Yeah, so I'd leave off with this on Twitter. What I'd like to check, guys, 300,000 followers on Twitter. Their engagement's pretty massive, 26,000. They're getting 19,000, 15,000. So they have a pretty large community here. In case you missed it, from Bitcoin's launch in 2009, Kadena is more secure and efficient multi-chain, yada, yada, yada. Check this out. How Chainweb improves upon Bitcoin's limitations. So I still believe, and I'm going to show you guys an article in a second after DZ pulls up another token from the audience, except to go type it in. There's a narrative coming to crypto. This narrative is here. It has begun and it is emerging, and it is going to be larger than any other sector. This is my own opinion, but I believe you're going to see not just millions, but billions pour into this industry's sector over the next 3 to 6 months. It's coming. I think you had your AI, your DPIN hype, and every single cycle, guys, there is trends. There's constantly trends. About every 4 months, there seems to be new trends in crypto. And I do think the new one is right around the corner. I'm going to show you guys in just a second.
I think L2 ecosystem plays are also going to be very, very big. I think as the Denkun upgrade, more and more people start to use these ETH L2s. And the Denkun upgrade is really not going to affect your ETH gas fees. It's going to affect your Polygon gas fees, your Arbitrum, your Avalanche gas fees. And I think as Ethereum goes up higher and higher and higher, Gwei's, related to price there, people are going to start seeing $200 gas fees to try to buy a meme coin, and they're going to be disgusted. They're not going to want to touch this thing with a 20-foot pole. And then they're going to discover, oh, wait, trading on Polygon or trading on Avalanche is like trading on Solana. And I think L2s, the plays within the L2 ecosystems are going to be huge.
Okay, so I went ahead and pulled this up, and I 100% agree. And that's why we've been talking about Matic and these other layer 2s and layer 1s. You've been adding tons to your portfolios. We've been watching very closely with Arbitrum, their unlocks, and we've been positioning ourselves in that layer 2 sector. And so I put this on my X, guys. If you follow me on X, it would slap you across the face. It says next trend will be Bitcoin, DeFi, and layer 2s. Now I'm specifying Bitcoin layer 2s, but as well as layer 2s in general. So if you guys check out this thread pinned on the Twitter, you would know that if you scroll down, one of the reasons why I believe this is going to emerge, I got to show this representation first. Let me kind of scroll down just a little bit on this. I'm going to have to open it up in a new tab, right? There we go. And then scroll. Can you see that? We can see that actually. That's just fine. So you'll see right here, Bitcoin's market cap, which is now double this because this is from the bear market when we started following this. $850 billion was Bitcoin's market cap. And the potential market cap for Bitcoin smart contracts, if you were to compare it to Ethereum and its DeFi and its layer 2s, would be $238 billion. That's because at the time, Ethereum's market cap, this is all doubled now, was $270 billion and a $76 billion market cap for its TVL. So that's what exists. It's about 28 to 40% of Ethereum's overall market cap is in TVL, in DeFi, in Bitcoin, or in layer 2s. So as we see this trend emerging into Bitcoin layer 2s, the analysts and expectations are that you're going to see similar kind of capability. So maybe 20% of Bitcoin's network is consumed by Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin layer 2s, maybe 40%. If that were to be the case, it'd be 5 times larger than Ethereum as a whole. So when you scroll down, I want to show you guys this, okay? Slipstream, Marathon Digital, one of the largest Bitcoin miners in the world, on February 24th, announced Slipstream to help scale Bitcoin development inscriptions at the same time as MicroStrategy coming out and saying they're now a Bitcoin development company. Well, as it turns out, one of the largest miners in the world, controlled by BlackRock, right, invested into heavily by BlackRock. I was snooping through their press releases on their website last night, and I stumbled upon this on February 28th of 2024. They announced that they're introducing Enduro, a new multi-chain Bitcoin layer 2 network, as well as 2 side chains. So they are building and integrating Bitcoin's infrastructure. They're making it more scalable. They're investing billions upon billions of dollars into this network, developing mempools specifically to service these networks. I see a trend emerging here. It's just getting started. I don't know if you have thoughts on that, DZ, but this is bullish to me in the sense that the largest miners and institutions in the game are developing on Bitcoin, and now I believe it can capture about the same value as Ethereum.
Yeah, and there's billions. I'll just give my short thoughts on it. Think of Jack Dorsey when you think of L2. There's people like Jack Dorsey who don't want to touch Ethereum with a 10-foot pole, but they want to do these exciting things with crypto. And so they're going to be gravitated to these type of projects. The billionaire Bitcoin maxis, which take up a high percentage and have a lot of sway and a lot of power within the crypto industry. So that group of individuals are going to pump the heck out of this sector. So I'm very, very bullish just because Maxiism is not going to die out anytime soon with Bitcoin. I do want to answer a couple questions. They said AGIX or Cardano. You can do what I do. I hedge my bets. So my AGIX has been out pumping my Cardano, but I felt like I almost had too much AGIX. So I end up staking some of mine on MinSwap. If we share my screen here, 52% APR, very, very not sustainable. But you know what? I've been doing pretty well on this. So you get a little Min rewards, ADA rewards, and AGIX rewards. And that way, if Cardano just starts going on a run, your pool, you'll have more AGIX, less Cardano. If AGIX pumps, you'll have less AGIX and more Cardano. It's almost like taking profits into the underperformer right there. A couple other, will there be too many L1s and L2s? Yeah, pretty much you answered your own question. The bad ones will die off. 1 will die, 2 will sprout up, and then eventually we'll find some sort of equilibrium, just like we do with stock companies, portfolios being launched there. And then the Algo Matic, I just took some profits on some Algo. And I've recently bought Polygon. So that's just what I have done. I can't tell you what to do between those two coins. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I think to leave off here, guys, because you guys might be questioning what are the Bitcoin layer 2s that we're watching and what are in this emerging sector that's going to start popping off. I can't find it because I'm not logged into my own website or my own Twitter. But I developed the first ever decentralized science watch list like a year ago before CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap ever even touched the industry. Now with Discover Crypto, I'm going to be working on this with DZ. We're going to be launching the first ever Bitcoin DeFi and layer 2 watch list. I'm going to make it on CoinMarketCap. It's going to be available to the Discord first as we develop it and build it together. And of course, we will be pushing that probably through our Telegrams and socials here later on. So if you guys want to make sure you guys check that out, join the Discord. We got a free 30 free day trial going on right now, and that should hopefully be out by tonight. A lot of you guys in there already know we're in OrdiSwap and a lot of these other projects that are already starting to gain mainstream attention, but there's a lot that are coming. We need to pay attention to those. That's all I got.
All right, Nick, end with this song if you can.
Success.
Or at least like a second.
Oh, yeah, you're out there tweeting at some tiny little apartment and itty-bitty couch. And itty-bitty couch.
Who's rich, everybody?
I got my big suck in the validator. I got my big suck in the validator.
Wow.
I got my validator. Who said I don't own my Miami house? I show fun. Is it overdrive? Praying for my downfall. Good morning. I made a mind
viral, man.
Keep questioning my life while you
All right, that's all I got.
TV dinner. While you're click-clacking on Twitter, I'll be sitting here sipping from my $5,000 bottle of private movie theater, $3,000 high tea service at Baccarat. I worked hard to buy that yacht. I worked hard to buy this big ass house. Yeah, you're out there tweeting at some tiny little apartment in